Hey, what's up, guys? So, I thought I would start something new this week. I'm going to call it kind of like a weekly watch list. So, I know it feels like there aren't a lot of movies, well, coming out anymore since, theaters aren't open, things keep getting pushed back. Um, but at least on the bright side right now is there's a lot of content coming out every week on different streaming services. And I wanted to just take a minute to go through all of what I'm aware of that came out and kind of just talk about what is there, kind of gauge my own interest, gauge your interest, kind of see what everyone is kind of taking a look at right now, what I might want to watch later. Maybe I can give recommendations to you if I've seen any of the films already. And I thought this would just be kind of a nice way to keep up with everything and, just be aware that there's always new films to watch. So at the end of this video, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments, whether you think this is something you'd like to continue to see me do, or if you have any suggestions for changing it up in the future. Okay, let's go ahead and check out these films. First film we have here is Malcolm and Marie. I have this sorted by the most popular films on IMDb at this time. This is as we see a director and his girlfriend's relationship is tested after they return home from his movie premiere and await critics' responses. Now, it looks like overall audiences are enjoying this film. It has some mixed reviews. I am very intrigued to see this movie. It actually is on my watch list. Sorry, I have a little pop-up there, notification. This could be a very interesting film. I like the concept of it. I like the black and white look. Obviously, it's got some great actors and actresses. We have John David Washington and Zendaya. So I think this could be a really interesting film. I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out sometime. If you have seen it, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Then we have Antebellum. Oh, actually, before we keep going, so I'm going to note where these films are available to stream. As you see here, it's going to be obvious if you're able to read it on the screen. Netflix for Malcolm and Marie. Antebellum, this is available on Hulu and video on demand services such as being able to rent on Amazon, Voodoo, Apple TV. This film has been out for a little while, but it's now available on other platforms. So, successful author Veronica Henley finds herself trapped in a horrifying reality and must uncover the mind-bending mystery before it's too late. It's a very vague synopsis, which I like. I've seen, looks like this does have some fairly mixed feedback on it, but I do know some people that have really enjoyed this film. I haven't really heard a lot from the people that haven't. If you do like this one, I'd love to hear if you recommend it. I know it has Janelle Monáe, and she, from everything I've heard, is a great actress. I also like Jenna Malone. I see she's in this too. Let's see. So next we have Bliss. This is on Amazon Prime Video. Looks like this film... Let's see, it is a mind-bending love story following Greg, who, after recently being divorced and then fired, meets the mysterious Isabel, a woman living on the streets and convinced that the polluted, broken world around them is a computer simulation. Okay, that's an interesting plot. I'll be honest, from face value, this film really doesn't interest me too much. It looks like it was panned by most critics, and, it's getting kind of very average audience reviews. If you have seen this film and you do enjoy it, definitely let me know what you think. It does have kind of a plot that sounds like it could be funny, but it doesn't look like it's a comedy. Going back to the next one here, we have Life in a Day 2020, which is on YouTube. So this is a documentary. Life in a Day 2020 will call on millions of people around the world to film their lives on July 25th. Now, from what I've read, this is a follow-up to Life in a Day, which came out last year. This could be really interesting and fascinating. Definitely if, you're someone who loves to travel and loves to see what life is like in other parts of the world. I feel like this one could be very depressing, just knowing how rough of a year 2020 was. But who knows? It would be interesting to see how they're framing it. So yeah, let me know if you have seen that one. That might be pretty good. Irresistible, this is on HBO, just standard HBO and video on demand services. So it's available on HBO, but if you're also an HBO Max subscriber, you'd get it. So it's a Democratic strategist helps a retired veteran run for mayor in a small conservative Midwest town. Okay, pretty simplistic plot. I love Steve Carell and Rose Byrne. I think they're both very talented actors. Yeah, I don't know. This one looks okay. It doesn't interest me too much. If you have seen it, I would like to know what you think. It looks like it's got decent audience scores and mixed reviews. So yeah, let me know what you think about that one. Alright, Earwig and the Witch. So I actually just recently reviewed this film. This is on HBO Max. It's Studio Ghibli's first 3D CG film, and it follows an orphan girl, Earwig, who is adopted by a witch and comes home to a spooky house filled with mystery and magic. I did enjoy this film quite a bit. I'm disappointed to see that it looks like it's not getting the best feedback from a lot of audiences. It did get mixed critic scores. I think this one could be one of those that's just getting panned because the Studio Ghibli fandom is very much invested in their initial, their traditional hand-drawn style of animation. So there could be a lot of people that just hate this style and don't want to support this film, unfortunately. But I definitely recommend it. If you're interested in checking out my review, I'll post a link to that here. Let's see, Space Sweepers. This is on Netflix, and I believe this is a Korean film. It's set in the year 2092 and follows the crew of a space junk collector ship called the Victory. When they discover a humanoid robot named Dorothy that's known to be a weapon of mass destruction, they get involved in a risky business deal. Okay. That sounds pretty interesting. I've always loved Korean films. It looks like it's getting pretty good reviews as well. So that could be a lot of fun. I haven't seen that many deep sci-fi Korean films, especially anything involving space. So that could be pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think about that one. All My Friends Are Dead. This is on Netflix. During the New Year's Eve party of a bunch of friends, a series of crazy events brings out secrets, breaks hearts, and leads to a shocking ending. Okay. Is that giving away the entire movie, or is that just the initial aspect? This looks like it could be fun. It looks like, yeah, it's a comedy. So, I don't know anyone that's seen this one. I don't know much about it at all. So, let me know if you guys have seen that one and recommend it. 12-Hour Shift. This is on Hulu and video on demand services. So, looks like we got bodies start to pile up when a drug user nurse and her cousin try to find a replacement kidney for an organ trafficker. Okay, so that sounds like quite an entertaining, interesting movie. Looks like it's got pretty good critic reviews and average user feedback. So, average audience scores, I should say. Yeah, this one could be fun. Let me know if you guys have seen it. I love my horror comedies, so if it does that well, I'm definitely intrigued. Let's see, Kilometers and Kilometers. This is on Netflix. So, Joseman, a young man from Kerala, meets Kathy, an American traveler, and offers to show her around, but during their trip, they begin to share their different views of life to better understand each other. That seems like a fun, kind of nice little road trip movie. I could see that being a very enjoyable time. Yeah, adventure, comedy, drama. Looks like it's got pretty good scores. Yeah, if you guys have seen this one, I'd love to hear what you think. So here we have Strip Down, Rise Up. This is also on Netflix. It's a documentary. Okay, so Academy Award nominated director Michelle Ohayan's Verity film follows women of all ages and ethnic backgrounds who heal trauma and body image shame through sensual dance and daring pole dance artistry. This does sound really interesting. I know some people who would be really interested in this, but then I know a lot of people who would be very turned off by it. So, depending on who you are and your feelings about pole dancing and what it can do, this might be a very interesting film, or it might have zero interest in it. So, yeah, if you guys have seen this one, I'd love to hear what you think. Rocks. This is on Netflix, and this is about a young teenage girl finds herself struggling to take care of herself and her younger brother after being abandoned by their single mother with no choice but to live out in the streets. Whew. That sounds rough. Yeah, this is a drama. Wow. It's got great critic reviews and really good audience reviews too. So I definitely want to check this one out. It looks like it came out in 2019, but is now just appearing on Netflix. So if you guys have seen that one, definitely let me know what you think. Upside Down Magic. In Upside Down Magic, oh boy, this is really long synopsis. A Disney Channel original movie. 13-year-old Nori Boxwood Horace discovers she can flux into animals, and her best friends Raina Carvajal can manipulate flames. Together they enter the Sage Academy for Magical Studies. I'm not going to read the rest of that, but I will just say that I'm not really feeling this one. I don't think it's really aimed at my demographic. Definitely looks like a pre-teen, teenager, kids movie. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't think this would be something I'd enjoy. But if you have seen it and you think adults can enjoy it too, definitely let me know. I'd love to be proven wrong. Let's see. And so that's on Disney Plus and Video on Demand. Black Beach. This is about a man named Carlos, who's a businessman who gets a request to intercede on behalf of a U.S. engineer in the oil industry who's been kidnapped. Okay. So yeah, let's see. The plot itself doesn't interest me too much. It looks like it's getting some average scores. Yeah, if you guys have seen this one, let me know what you think. Little Big Women. This is on Netflix. And let's see. So this is family members grapple with the passing of their estranged father and the remnants of the life he led during his absence. That could be really fascinating. It looks like it's getting really good reviews. Hasn't been seen by that many people, and I was looking up this one a little bit earlier. It is a Taiwanese film. So yeah, that could be really fascinating. If you guys have seen this one, and if you recommend it, let me know. Fake Famous. This is available for HBO subscribers. It's a documentary. Follows an actress, fashion designer, and real estate assistant who attempt to become social media influencers by purchasing fake followers and bots to boost their popularity. Okay, that is a really interesting concept that they're going for here, and I would be interested to see how that actually played out. As a YouTuber, obviously doing work like this, I could see there being some interesting outcomes. So yeah, if you guys have seen this one, let me know. Looks like it's some people are enjoying it overall. We Bear Bears, the movie. So let's see. Grizz, Panda, and Ice embark on an adventure to Canada after an agent from the Department of National Wildlife Control tries to put an end to their hijinks. Okay. So it looks like this is actually a follow-up to a series called We Bear Bears. So I probably won't be checking this one out, but if you are a fan of that series, I'm sure you're interested in checking it out. It looks like it's got pretty good scores for people that like it. So yeah, that's on HBO Max and on Video on Demand services. The Yin-Yang Master, Dream of Eternity. So this is a Chinese film. King Ming, the Yin-Yang Master, took his master's last wish and went to the capital Tiandu city to attend the Heaven ceremony. Okay. It doesn't give too much away there. I'm always fascinated by Chinese culture and some of these like classic dynasty era films. I'm not sure if this is one that I would check out or not, but if you guys have seen it, let me know. That one is on Netflix. Leotimo Paradiso. This is on Netflix. During the 1950s in Italy, a free and enthusiastic spirit dreams of love, justice, and a better life until a forbidden relationship threatens all of her dreams, inspired by real events. Yeah, the plot isn't really grabbing me much. Seems a little too like we've seen it before, and it doesn't look like it's really getting that much great feedback here either. But let me know if you guys like this one. Growing Up Milwaukee. This is on HBO. Behind every statistic is a story. 3 inner-city youth growing up in Milwaukee struggle with the daily dilemma of growing up black and avoiding becoming just another statistic. That sounds like a very heavy film. I bet it has a lot to say, and it's probably a very good documentary. Yeah, it looks like it's getting some really good reviews so far. This one's on HBO Max. If you guys have seen it, let me know. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's probably hard to watch and will open people's eyes a lot. So let's see. Coming from Insanity. This is in the oh boy, another long synopsis. I'll just read a little bit. In the mid-90s, a 12-year-old boy, Kasi, with genius-level intelligence, is one of many children trafficked through the Nigerian borders from Togo. He ends up with the Martins, an upper-middle-class family of 4 in Lagos. At their home, he will work overtime for his meals and shelter as a houseboy. Okay, I'm sure there's a lot more to this, but just from that description, it sounds like a pretty fascinating film. Yeah. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that one. I haven't seen it, obviously. So let's see. That's on Netflix. A Nightmare Wakes. Shudder. Oh. Shudder, a Shudder film. This is an adaptation of the novel Frankenstein, as told through the life of Mary Shelley. As she creates her masterpiece, she gives birth to a monster. Okay, so my only thought, the main thoughts I have here, even though I love horror films, this sounds like something we've seen before. Actually, fairly recently, there's been a lot of Mary Shelley, Frankenstein-esque films coming out, and I don't know how much this one differs from those, but from what I've read about some of those other ones, it definitely sounds very familiar. If you guys have seen this, I'd love to know what you think, though, because I am very interested in Mary Shelley and her novels, especially Frankenstein. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Okay, so let's see. The Pembrokeshire Murders, Catching the Gameshow Killer. So this is a documentary, the real-life story behind the ITV drama The Pembrokeshire Murders. For the first time, all the key people who brought serial killer John Cooper to justice reveal their role in this extraordinary case. So yeah, this is a follow-up to, it's a documentary follow-up here to the Pembrokeshire Murders. So this one doesn't really interest me, but I can tell that, a lot of people would more than likely be interested in this because there's a lot of people who enjoy crime, and especially crime dramas. That is on BritBox. I'm not even sure how to obtain that. But there you go. La Deuda. This is a young Mexican boy tries to save his beloved pet goat from a debt collector. That sounds tough to watch. Hopefully there's a happy ending. It's only 15 minutes. This is a short. And this is on HBO and HBO Max. Yeah, let me know if you guys have seen this. I like to highlight short films every now and then as well, for sure. That sounds like it could be really good. Yoshiki, My Story, Disney Plus. This is another documentary. Yoshiki independently performs Disney's masterpieces Let It Go, As It Is, from the movie Frozen, and Can You Feel the Love Tonight from the movie Lion King. Sorry, I can't talk, you guys. Arrange and play. In addition, valuable. Okay, so it's a nice spotlight on this performer. So that could be really interesting for fans of Yoshiki's music. The Exorcism of Roland. This is another documentary as part of the Shock Docs. This is about how The Exorcist has terrified audiences since 1973, but few know the story is true. For the first time on television, investigators expose shocking secrets about the real-life exorcism of a 13-year-old boy that inspired an iconic horror film. So as a fan of The Exorcist and horror films in general, this does really interest me. If you guys have seen this documentary series before, or this doc, I would love to hear your thoughts on it are. And if you think this is worth checking out. Alright guys, we have one more here. So this is Framing Britney Spears. This is from the New York Times Presents. So this, I thought, was really interesting. Her rise was a global phenomenon. Her downfall was a cruel national sport. People close to Britney Spears and lawyers tied to her conservatorship now reassess her career as she battles her father in court over who should control her life. So, I kind of grew up knowing about Britney Spears. I used to listen to her music when I was a kid. And yeah, it was really interesting to see how things changed, learning about her and as I grew up. This could be really good, really heavy, fascinating documentary. So this is available on Hulu. And yeah, let me know if you guys have seen it. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay guys, so I thought I'd show you one last thing here. This is everything I have on my watch list for just this week, and this doesn't include everything that came out and that was on this list. I like to vary it up. First thing I have is the Snoopy Show. This is on Apple TV Plus. I'm definitely intrigued by this. That you can watch the first episode for free, even if you're not an Apple TV Plus subscriber, but just on Apple TV. I've always loved the Peanuts. I grew up in Sonoma County, so for most people who live here, that's always been a big deal. This film, The Night. I know someone who actually worked on this film. It's a horror film. I'm looking forward to checking this out. I guess I should go back to reading synopsis. An Iranian couple living in the U.S. become trapped inside a hotel when insidious events force them to face the secrets that have come between them in a night that never ends. I'm definitely intrigued by that. So that's on video on demand services. So those are newer ones. These ones I probably won't get into because they've been out for a while, and you most likely know about them. So we have Godzilla, the 2014 Godzilla. I've actually never seen any of the Godzilla films before, and I rented this one from my local video store, as well as Kong Skull Island. You know, I'm just trying to get caught up on all the Godzillas, or well, the monster verses, I should say, until we get the newest one that's coming out pretty soon. Midnight Sky. This is one of those been nominated for Golden Globe. Thought I'd check it out on Netflix. Same with Hillbilly Elegy, and then The Intouchables. I've heard great things about this film, but I've never seen it. It's interesting because it has such a great IMDb rating, yet it looks like it has overall mixed critic reviews, which I always find fascinating when that happens. So yeah, that's what I got on my watch list this week. I'm probably not going to see all of it, but that's usually how it goes. I like to vary it up, and then I have a list to pick from, which is always nice, especially when you have so much things you could watch and would be willing to watch, like myself. Okay guys, so that's it for my list for this week and what to watch. I'd love to hear your thoughts on any of those films, what you'd recommend, what you'd like me to check out, or even possibly review if you have any requests. Let me know if you think this is something you'd want to see me do in the future, continue, you know, every Sunday or something like that. And, you know, I'd love to just keep recommending stuff and figuring out stuff to watch myself. So yeah, as always guys, my name is Dylan, and if you love entertainment, subscribe to my channel while this video ends and send me a thumbs up before you go. Thanks for watching, and stay diligent.